Hello everyone. My name is Juliana Naranjo, and today I am going to talk to you about two readings that I did. They are so different for many people, but are so necessary to keep in mind when you are going to make a research. Okay, so actually, I am in a bachelor degree of English. So these two readings are focused in a problematic that sometimes we have. The number one is name, the problems of generating ideas faced by English language students in a research proposal. Yeah. So normally when we are going to make a research, we have many things to think about. Where are we going to research? Where we are going to investigate? What's the idea? What's because as a student we have in our mind many topics, many ideas. But I am going to connect this article that I read with an analysis between the relationship between multiple intelligence. This is a summary about a chapter number 2 of a book that I read. And it's focused in learning styles and the application in technology mediated education. So the idea is to try to connect both ideas because both are so necessary when you are, as a student, try to think, okay, what I'm going to research in the last semesters in my university. So the first one, what not as students, situations, okay, what are we going to do? What we are going to find, what we are going to research. So this study investigates the difficulty English language students face when they want to generate an investigation, okay? Because of course, when you're a university student, you are not clear about the realities inside the English teaching. And more here in Colombia, that is a Spanish native country, okay? So they specify and describe how the research or design is important to keep in as a quantified or quantitative approach. Yeah, because you don't know the results, and always the results are going to be so different. So it's necessary to have this to get analyzed a real result. Number two, the participant normally are students that are in the last semesters. Of course, they have an idea about the grammars, about the strategies, about methodologies, but they aren't in a real situations inside a public school or private school, for example. So they have many things about, okay, what we are going to research, what can be the best topic to make an investigation about education in English. Yeah. Another thing that is important inside this reading is the data collection. Okay, sometimes we think that everything connected with the education have to be qualitative, and no, when you want to show the results that you have, it's necessary to have quantitative results because you are going to show and express your point with numbers, okay, with percentages or things that can show that it's the reality and it's not just your opinion. Got it? Number three, analyzes the information, because when you get this information, what are you going to do with that? Okay, let's go into read it, understand it, comprehensive, make a chart, make a comparative between my results and my classmates' results. So it's necessary when you keep this information and this data and these numbers and these results to see and to compare. Because, for example, if you are making the investigation in a public school, the results are going to be different than a private school that normally are focused in English. The students are very connected with this language. In the public schools, the art is different. Sometimes the students don't have English classes or don't have the resources that you want, so the classes are different. So of course the results are going to be different. The idea is to compare and see them. So in general, they show us that the most common difficulties are the location relief academic references, because of course as students we want to use all the materials and all the readings and all that we read inside the university, but sometimes in the reality it's so difficult to put inside. Yeah, so this is something that the students have to keep in mind, that it's going to happen, don't worry, but the idea is that you can understand that these readings, or that these investigations, or that I don't know, books that you read in the university are going to help you to concrete the investigation. Okay, no inside investigation as a word or as the body, concrete investigation with these ideas, with these quotes. Okay, number 2 is identify the the integration between the literature we read inside the university and the reality. Is so difficult, because of course in the literature they express different situations and many strategies, but in the reality you can see, okay, this strategy doesn't work, let's go for the next one. It doesn't work, let's go for the next one. So all the time you are thinking, okay, this reading was saying that if I do, it's going to have this result, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So we need to keep in mind as students that yes, the readings are so important, because they help us to understand, to pay attention about details that sometimes inside the practice you don't see. But this is not going to be 100% a reality inside the school. Okay, just keep in mind that. Another thing that you need to keep in mind when you are making a research inside the English in school is the evaluating. Okay, evaluate, because of course as a practical you think that you can't evaluate, it's not you right, but yes, you can make an evaluation. No to the teachers as, okay, you're a bad teacher. No, as the results. Okay, if you see that this methodology works or this methodology doesn't work, you can evaluate it, because of course you have the results, and the results are there for being evaluated, for understood, for comprehensibility. Okay, this was the first reading I read. So in conclusion about this reading was, the idea is to provide a structure, because everyone in a university knows how to make an investigation. Yes, so keeping that in mind, you need to start with the beginning, with the context. You need to start previous questions about it. Complete them. Okay, make the structure inside your head, and the structure about the type of investigation you want to do, because if you want to be a qualitative or a quantitative or a mix it up one, you need to keep in mind, okay, what are the steps, what are the phases, or what are the things inside this kind of investigation. Number 2, offer the feedback. Okay, when you are thinking about a research, of course you need feedback from your teachers of the university, but at the same time you can give a feedback to the teacher where you are making the practice, because of course maybe they don't have the time, or they don't know how to make this kind of research, and you can say, okay, I have these results, maybe it can help you with these classes or something like that. So keep in mind and share the feedback. Number 3, take strategies. Okay, all the time thinking, evaluate. Okay, why? Because it's necessary to have concrete results. If you make an evaluation, you give a score, and the score is considered a concrete result. So try to make it. Don't be nervous about, oh no, maybe the students are going to be angry with me. No, try. Show this resource as an extra activity. The idea is to know what they learn, but don't be punishment, or don't say if you lost it. No, don't be that. Try to keep a good vibe, and the idea is to receive the results and analyze it, because maybe the problem is no the strategy. Maybe the problematic is material, or the topic is so advanced, or the level. So these evaluations help you to keep in mind what you can improve. This was the reading about the difficulties into make a research as a student. Okay, now normally when we are trying to find a good topic to investigate, exist many topics: pedagogical, strategies, context, realities. But actually, one of the most common and necessary topics to investigate and to put inside a classroom is to understand and to analyze the multiple intelligences and the learning styles of our students. Because thanks to the technology, and thanks to many videos, TikTok, and all of this social media, our students learn different. And we have to keep in mind that when we are going to make a research. Maybe not as a topic, okay, you don't want to investigate this, okay, but keep in mind when you are going to make the exercises or the activities or when you want to be inside this context. Because you have to think, okay, exist students that learn visually or listening or speaking or they are kinesthetic. So you need to keep in mind that reality because not all the students like to write. That's not truth. Actually, we can see that this is not reality. Most of our students prefer to play a game or to listen a song or to watch a video about the topic because it's more colorful, it's more understandable without, I don't understand what they're saying, but I can see the pictures and I get the idea. So this chapter number 2 about this book is a specific kind that, okay, guys, you need to keep in mind this situation because this is our reality actually. Do you want to make an investigation in the school? Okay, all the things, all the activities you want to do for make a result, keep in mind the different intelligences or the learning styles. Because if you don't keep in mind that, the results are not going to be real, okay? Maybe are going to be concrete, of course. If you make a writing exam, it's going to be a concrete result, but it's not going to be real because maybe this is a student that have a 1 or a 0, it's because was visual and doesn't understand the reading, don't get the words. And for him or for her, this evaluation was so hard, okay? So keep in mind that the linguistic, the logical mathematic, the visual, the musical, the bodily, okay? All of that is necessary to keep in mind when you are going to make a research or when you are going to make an intervention or when you are going to be inside a classroom, okay? The key idea here is that every student has a unique combination of intelligence, okay? So it's necessary to have that inside our curriculum when you are planning or you are making your class or you are making the exercises to give you results. That is important because not all the students are the same. They are completely different words, okay? So the invitation inside this reading is, okay, if you want to make research, or if you want to make a class, or if you want to make an activity inside a classroom, do it. The only thing is, hey, keep in mind the styles of learning because all the students have 1 or 2 ways to learn, okay, that they prefer, of course. If you are here and you give me a piece of paper and I have to do something, okay, as a student, I have to do it. I have the obligation, but I'm not going to enjoy. So they are going to disconnect it with the English. And this is something that we have to keep in mind because in Colombia, as our country, native Spanish country, the English is something that is not common, is not for him or for her, is not necessary, okay? Of course it's necessary, but in the context they are in this moment, in these ages, they think I don't need the English and I don't like the English because always the activities are the same. So no, try to think about, okay, make a diagnostic about what kind of students prefer reading exercises, visual things, games, or things like that. And you make an idea in general, okay, so you say, okay, most of my students are visual and listening. So I always in my classes need a song and a video because all they enjoy it. And this is going to be a good form that you can connect with them because they are saying, okay, this teacher is keeping in mind what I want, is doing exercises that I like. So they are going to cooperate to you. And of course, the results in your research are going to be better, are going to be truthful, and of course, are going to be real because this is what we need in a research. Real results, not just results because yes, no, real results because the students need to be realistic analyzing, Okay, so this is my resume about these two readings, that they are connected, so different, but they are showing the same idea. Thank you so much for watching.